What is up, guys? We are taking the big boy vehicle today, and by that I mean the truck. This thing's not been getting enough love lately. But since I'm going out to Injuku to get some stuff done on S15 and film an update, what better than to take the truck to get all my crap from the S15 that's just taking up space there. I legit just remembered that I have a tuner for the truck that I still haven't done anything with, so I need to get on that. That'll be a really fun video, because I know that those tuners transform these trucks, especially when you delete them. So me and Bub have been kind of like planning out everything that we're gonna be doing for the whole S15, like parts order. And it's kind of funny because we've had a conversation for the last 10 minutes on how we can achieve less horsepower, because we're worried the car's gonna make too much power. So we're like talking about choking out the motor.
It's a 3.4 2J. It's going to make power. It's going to want to make power. The sooner you start freeing up the motor, it's going to just be like, oh hey, 600 horsepower, cool.
So I'm gonna be taking my old S15 SR home. Don't know if I'm actually gonna end up using it. I'll talk about that a little bit later. But they got it on a pallet for me, so we can just throw it right on the forklift and throw it right in. So much easier than trying to lift it. We wound up spending a lot more time planning rather than actually physically doing stuff to the S15, so I apologize about that, but I figured we'd give you guys a short little update. What have you been up to on the car?
Pretty much just stripping all the seam sealer out and getting ready for this, all the stitch welding, which I've already started on.
So the car's completely gutted now, and you can see pretty much all the seams. He's already started welding in here, all up in here, all under here. You haven't done anything underneath the car yet, right?
No, nothing underneath the car. I want to start with the interior so we can get the cage going as soon as possible.
So it's been a little bit delayed because Bub's been focusing on some R&D for some cages that they're going to be producing. I'm in no rush, so it doesn't really matter to me. Can we show it, or is it like something that's confidential?
It's not confidential.
Okay. So is this like the first E36 cage that you guys are doing?
Yes, it's the first ER spec, FD legal 8-point cage.
When's it going to be available?
Should be going on sale here in the next few days.
That's sick. So you have to take all the measurements and like figure out what pipes to use and everything?
Right.
Or tubing, sorry, I don't want to sound like an idiot.
Yeah, it's just measure twice and cut once, hopefully, which doesn't always work out. But.
So what's kind of cool about the whole cages and everything is it's not just engineering when it comes to actually designing the cage, but everything needs to be designed to be able to fit on a pallet for shipping purposes. So it's kind of like an extra challenge.
Right.
The cage that we'll be doing, the S15, will be like not the same exact cage because we'll be able to use the complete tubes because there's a need to ship from somewhere. Right. But this still for like, I don't know what you'd call this, a cookie cutter cage or whatever, like it fits ridiculously tight. So you did an E36 one and like an FC, right?
E36 and an RX-7 FC, correct.
Cool. What's cool, Bub got really hyped when I told him about the fact that I want to do a sequential, because now we don't have to worry about a winner's quick change since we can do a 6-speed or even a 5-speed as opposed to like dog box, which would only have 4.
Right. Yeah, they're very small. I am a huge fan of 6-speed sequentials.
It's gonna look sick.
Like banging through gears. So yeah, no, it's gonna work out really nice. It kind of simplifies the build, so why not?
We also came up with some other crazy stuff that we're gonna kind of keep a secret, but it's gonna be a very, very cool cage that, I don't know, has it been done before, or at least in drifting?
Not in drifting.
So it'll be very unique. I'm excited. This part wasn't cut out before. Is this just like clearance for the radiator?
That'll be for the radiator and the fuel cell.
Gotcha. We also did find someone that's going to be able to make us a carbon fiber roof skin. I just need another S15 to take a mold off of. I do have a couple friends with S15, so I'm going to hit them up and hopefully they'll be cool enough to let us borrow it. But like we said before, this roof has some gnarly dents in it, so we'll be able to take a mold of another one and get a carbon fiber replacement. I believe you just grind this down and there's little like spot welds, right? You can just...
Well, we're going to do an overlay, not so much a complete replacement. Doing a full skin replacement would involve grinding out every seam, drilling out each of the spot welds, and it's just a lot more involved. So like with Kevin's car, it's just an overlay, so it's going to sit on top of the existing metal and allow me to cut out everything else kind of that's not needed. We just need attachment metal. So
all right, so I was wrong. We're not getting a real carbon fiber roof.
Well, it's going to be a carbon fiber.
I know,
but it's not going to be 100%.
Yeah. So,
replacement.
Are we going to actually cut anything out of this roof, or is it going to stay?
Yeah,
because won't that make it easier for you to weld the cage if you cut out part of it?
Yes.
Okay.
So it'll kind of, we'll just follow a body line and give me a flanged area that I can attach the new skin too.
Yo, how sick would it be if we used removable body panels for the roof, so we could pull it off and it's like a T-top?
You can. It's been requested.
Really?
I denied it before.
Really? I'm just saying.
Kevin wanted it so
what
bad,
are the holes gonna look like? Are they in his roof too? Can we look at them?
Well, his is just riveted on, but yeah, it'll be essentially the same.
Okay, I want to see the holes. That'd be really funny.
It's
okay.
on the borderline edges is where the metal remains.
So literally only the edges have the metal. So if it was a removable carbon fiber roof, we could pull it off and it would be like the coolest convertible in the world.
You could make it. Yeah.
It would look so ridiculous though. That'd be sick. Bub hates me.
Starting to sound like Kevin.
Once all the welding in the cage and stuff is done on this car, it's gonna start going pretty fast. This is like the very time-consuming stuff. So it's already getting to the point where I'm starting to get excited because I can like see it coming together in my head. But it's a very time-consuming thing to do it correctly. While we're sitting in Orlando traffic, I figured I would give you guys kind of an update of the whole SR situation. So I think the reason why my motor has been so low in compression and wore out so quickly, I think we made the mistake of staying with stock piston size, and we probably should have done an oversized piston just because the motor was old and because like we only did a light hone, it wasn't machined or anything. I would really love to do a VVL head. They're off like front wheel drive SRs and you make much more power, it revs much higher, you don't have rocker arm issues, and they sound sick. But my thing is, it just kind of adds another complicated factor to the whole ordeal, and I don't really care about making much more power. I think my motors had proper compression, so if we get oversized pistons, I go to 252 cams instead of 264s, and I switch my turbo to something that's a little bit more efficient, I think I'll be happy with it. So I think that's gonna be the plan, so I just need to figure out when I can get all the parts, and then we'll probably rip it apart, bring it to the machine shop, and maybe get like a couple day rebuild done. Shouldn't be anything too complicated. Me and Alberto make a pretty good team when it comes to tag team and motors. We're heading to PSI right now to go do some very fun stuff on the BMW. It's funny because both you guys, Nicole, and my friends have heard me go back and forth about what I'm doing with my cream car in regards to engine, SR, 1J, 2J, V8, nah, I never said V8, but like all this other stuff, and I'm probably gonna end up just having like the same setup that I always had. Some things never change. After waiting for like 4 months, my LSD finally came. It's just a core with the actual LSD installed in it. Because my car's not an 07, you can't just like drop one in. It has to be like machined and stuff, so it's annoying. Kind of bummed that they didn't even like at least paint it or clean it up, but it's whatever, it'll work. I got a wave track core for reference. But what I'm most excited about, which is kind of like a last minute decision, I knew I wanted to put upgraded brakes on the car, but I didn't know what I wanted to go with. I wound up pulling the trigger on some sweet Brembos. I've always wanted actual Brembos in my car, and until I drove with them on the Mustang, I didn't realize how much of a difference it makes having like proper brakes on a car, because it makes it so much more enjoyable to drive, especially with a heavier car. And with this thing making well over 700 horsepower, or at least will be making well over 700 horsepower, the last thing I want is some crappy brakes. So look at this. That's the stock caliper. Hey Chris, are the stock calipers single piston, or are they dual?
Yeah, like one huge piston.
Gotcha, okay. So, they are 1 piston. This is 4 piston. Now look at the size, all right? Okay? This is the rear. Look at the difference. Look at how big this is. This is the front. Let me hold it up. It's insane. So these are 6 pistons. It's actually pretty light though, considering the size. I wish they were free, but the good thing is PSI got in contact with Brembo and they got us a really good deal on them. So I'm definitely hyped that we were able to go with such a crazy brake setup. This is actually their GT kit. We decided to go with their J-hook rotors.
Type 3. Because it looks the best is really the real reason.
Yeah, I like how they look. Didn't you used to not be able to get them here? You only had to.
Yeah,
you can only get them in Japan.
The rotor they have. They have a Type 4 also, but this one looks the best. It's sort of the JDM inspired. It has more initial bite and it's smoother on the pedal.
I love the fact that they're 2-piece rotors too, because this part's not going to rust. It looks so bad when they do. Their kit comes with stainless lines as well. I can't believe we got Brembos for the car. Didn't we order these like 2 days ago?
Yeah.
So they got here fast, and we're gonna try to finish everything up on the car tonight, at least most of the stuff. Pretty simple, just 2 bolts back here, just like any other car. We have to cut the heat shield a little bit to fit these, don't we? The new ones? Oh, we just take it off completely? Yeah. Makes sense. It's not as easy as S chassis ones where they just slide off. There's like a little Allen that keeps them on. Oh, good catch. Yep. Just comes off, or dust shield I mean. Super grimy. Pretty simple, just comes with a little bracket. It'll just bolt right up there. It's getting pretty late, so they're just gonna finish up tomorrow, which all really is bleeding, but you can kind of get an idea of what the brakes look like on the car now. Looks pretty sweet. I'm excited to see what it looks like with the red interior as well, but they look really cool behind the wheels. Can we throw one wheel up real quick? Looks so sweet. Even though the wheels are kind of like covering it up quite a bit compared to if I had like some thin spokes, it's so close to the wheel.
Yeah, super sick.
Yeah, it looks rad. We don't remember what it's called. Maybe a thrust arm, but this is the upgraded M3 one. This is the M3 control arm. It's a lot beefier. Also adds a little bit of negative camber to the front end. You can see the super gnarly sway bar that we got in here. In the rear, it's pretty easy to see the new bushings as well as the sway bar that's tucked in there too. I totally forgot to mention in the video, but another reason why I decided to go with the Brembos is because I'm actually going to be utilizing the car in a track challenge that Rob Ferretti is doing actually in Florida. That's going to have a challenge at Daytona, a challenge at Sebring, and a half mile at Ocala. Gosh, shush phone. You're gonna make people think their phones are ringing. Originally the plan was I was gonna end this video off with me making a fool of myself trying to weld, but I think I'm gonna save that for tomorrow because Alberto's gonna come over and he's gonna actually teach me how to weld properly instead of myself making a fool of myself trying to learn over FaceTime. So that's gonna be a funny video. I will see you guys tomorrow, and I hope you're having a great holiday season. I know some of you guys are off school, off work and everything, so thank you.